Hey, this is Lisa with Fuchsia Dolls and welcome to my workspace. Today I'm going to show you how to create these cute little donuts made out of foam sheets. So are you ready? Come on, follow me. Hi, to create these cute little donuts you will need a foam sheet, electrical wire 16 gauge, scissors, some puffy paint, your glue gun. You will need a hot iron set to cotton setting and a little piece of extra fabric and a ruler. So what I did was I cut a piece of foam sheet to approximately 4 inches, 4 inches and a half to 4 inches and a half, or you could go 4 by 4 or 3 by 3, whatever you prefer the size of donut to be. So I am now going to warm this up. I'm going to turn my camera a little bit so you can see it. Let's move the puffy paint. And here's my foam sheet, and here's my scrap of fabric to protect the foam sheet. Now heat your iron to a cotton setting. It should be nice and hot, your iron. So I'm going to check my iron because sometimes it's on auto shut off. So when it's idle, it just kind of cools down. So I'm going to start ironing my foam sheet. And as you can see, it starts to curl up a bit. And that's perfect. Just iron it a couple seconds more. And I think we're good to go. See how nice this is curling up? That's great. So now I'm going to just quickly roll it. Don't worry about it cooling down, just it's already taking shape. You could just roll it and roll it and roll it. And just let it cool down a bit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my electrical wire. I'm going to place it in the center. Now this doesn't have to be as long as the foam sheet itself. This is approximately, and these are all approximate sizes. This is just to give you an idea of how you can do it. This is a little over 3 inches. So do make it a little bit smaller from the actual foam sheet. So I'm going to start to roll it up. Let me move this further out so you can see. Okay. Now I have my glue gun. Let me put my glue gun around. And I'm going to put a little bit of the glue on the foam sheet. And then I could start to roll it up more. Be careful you don't burn yourself. Use always caution. So you could roll it nice and tight, and you could definitely get tighter as you roll. Okay, so it's halfway rolled up, and now I'm going to add more glue. Don't glue it all the way to the edge. Do it in sections. That way you can manipulate the foam sheet better and the hot glue. So I'm just rolling it, and you can tighten it up as you like. Okay. Now this came out a little bit uneven, and that's okay. I'll just even it out with my scissor, cut it. And now I'm going to do my final glue to close it up. And as you can see, it's going to start to take shape. Okay, so let's do that final glue here. And roll it up completely. Nice and tight. And it's completely into a roll. Perfect. I am going to even up the edges if you need to. And I'm going to do this edge a little bit at an angle. This edge looks pretty good. There's no need to cut much from it. Okay, so here is when you're going to join this together. Now here's the tricky part. Here's where the actual wire helps. If you want to just start manipulating it. Because what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put a little bit of glue here and a little bit of glue here, and then I'm just going to join it together like this, okay? And I'm just going to hold it for a few seconds, or maybe a little bit more than that, maybe 30 seconds or so. Now don't worry about the excessive glue, and don't worry about it being messy, because we're going to cover that up with puffy paint. So just hold on to it. Just hold on to it patiently. Just let it just sit there. If you really want to remove the excessive glue, you can. Let me just get this little strip of foam sheet. Just try to hold it tight, because that way you have control over it. You don't want it to detach, because then it gets even messier. There we go. Got rid of the excess. Okay, so I'm gonna keep holding it. Keep holding it, and it will definitely stick. You just gotta give the hot glue and the foam time. You see how it just stuck together? Now, if you want to try this with a super glue, go right ahead. I didn't have any on hand right now, so I just decided to just grab my glue gun. See how it's starting to look like a donut? Now, don't worry about this. Don't worry about this. Because here's where the puffy paint comes into play. If you want to just shape it a little bit more, go right ahead. If you want to just squeeze it and give it more grooves and edges so it could look more like a donut, absolutely, go for it. Okay, this one's a little bit of a wider donut, but that's fine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my my puffy paint, and I'm actually going to put the paint on this side because I want to cover all that up. As you can see, this one is actually covered. This one was all covered up with the puffy paint. And that edge where the glue meets, I just added another layer of puffy paint, dripping down. And for the sprinkles, you could use, I use polymer clay sprinkles, or you could use glitter, or you could use little mini beads, whatever you have available on hand. So for your puffy paint, you're just gonna go, oops, sorry, we did the wrong side. Let me clean this up. We gotta go the other side. That's the great thing about foam. You can wipe it down, and that looks like it's just part of the donut. All right, so here we go again. Sorry about that. We're gonna get the puffy paint, and you're gonna start to create the little frosting section. Get as creative as you want. If you want to have double frosting and add another layer of frosting of different color, go right ahead. You could drip it down. Cover all this up. The better practice you have at making these little donuts, you're definitely going to be making a whole bunch that are just cuter and cuter by the moment. You won't be disappointed. I promise. You could even do different shapes donuts. I would challenge you to do hearts as well. So there's my donut. And here I'm going to sprinkle some of this polymer clay sprinkles. And there you have it, a donut made out of a foam sheet. I hope you like this tutorial, and I'm going to show you the ones that are fully dried. Here are my fully dried ones. And here you could definitely add a little bit of bead shade. A bead shade chain will help you clip it onto a purse, your journals, keychains, anything you can think of. Create little gifts and toys for your children. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Please comment, like, and share to all your friends. And God bless, and hopefully I'll be having more tutorials to come. Thank you so much, and happy crafting. Bye-bye.